first of all hand over the meeting to Mr. Ankit. I would like to introduce Mr. Ankit has vast experience about petroleum industry. He has drilling engineer in Greca Drilling Company and the Greca, and he has done the work also in drilling Ahmedabad, John Energy Ahmedabad. 1 or 2 year, yeah, he has done work as in hydrocarbon, okay, and he joined the SNC Lavalin. It is in Doha, Qatar, and recently he is working in Lavalin. Now, apart from drilling reservoir or like engineer, everyone should have idea about what is the main work of petroleum engineer, like project manager. Okay, so today's webinar of project management in oil and gas. Actually, what is the main work of petroleum engineer? Okay, so Mr. Ankit, now and
Thank you, Dushyant.
share your screen first.
Just first, okay. So my screen is visible, right, to everyone?
Yeah, visible.
Okay. So thank you for that brief introduction. Teacher, senior than all the student.
Okay.
So any point of time, if anyone want to ask anything, just take as a normal session. Because I am also from the same background, started as a petroleum engineer and then with the MBA in oil and gas. So after that, just work first in the core oil and gas, and then got an opportunity as a project engineer. So Dushyant, just I want to know that question answer session will be in the last or in between?
Yeah, in the last, Mr. Ankit.
Okay. So just I'll move forward. So what the topic which I have interaction is insights of project management in oil and gas.
Share your screen first.
Okay, my screen is not shared. Let me check. Okay. Now my screen is visible. Dushyant, can you confirm?
It is visible.
Hello.
Mr. Ankit.
Thank you so much. Okay. So if any voice problem or anything in screen, any point of so the topic for today's discussion, I have opted insights of project management in oil and gas. Petroleum have also learn about the geology part, drilling, production, core. But apart from that, one of the work cannot do drilling engineer cannot do a work of a production engineer or a geology engineer, but sometimes he would be in a position where he has to see the multiple work. So some of the skill is required to just if want to continue multiple disciplinary work. Go through. I know for some of you it's a totally a new topic. Try to try to how it is in industry. So so first slide. Sec. So first thing, which very common word, we usually hear this word in our day-to-day life. So management, uh, in my you must those photos, like one of the in the extreme left top photo is one of the well pad where, in the right, that is uh, these works have been done initially. These, if you find, have a request to everyone, don't think like the perspective of operation, as you are working as a, yeah, so how how that rig is designed and what capacity, like for suppose a requirement is that designing a rig for 2000, uh, uh, so all those things. So what we are now, we are going the step ahead before the operation. So slide, just first I have written what are the definitions which are usually you find is that a project is a temporary endeavor, means it's not a permanent, it has a definite beginning and definite end. So because when we will correlate with the project with the so project and services, this because let's we will take example of a reef. So there are two things. One a concept came when you just erect and second, normal operation work is that is your under the operation, and project is that you have take a definite I'll take the example of refineries coming under HPCL. So government of Rajasthan and HPCL, what they have decided to make a new refinery. So from that to and from after that the normal operation can be started. That phase comes under projects. Someone has taken the decision of refinery, all these all after construct under that, then it is handed over to the operation people. They do routine kind will from that crude oil will be refined through ADO, VDO, and all those units of refinery. All the that is a cyclic process. So here, so by this definition, what we want to say a temporary endeavor, and it has a you are creating, like in Rajasthan, that is a kind of a unique product or unique service that's come under, because that will be you cannot create daily refinery in Rajasthan. One of the interesting definition of project is that a project can also be defined as a set of in to achieve a particular goal. So, like you give a specific kind of input to start the things. We will understand this by example. For that, we have discussed that it's a project is temporary, temporary endeavor. This is the first characteristic of a project which make it different from the operation. Unique deliverables and main project, like if day to day, like if you want to construct your house, so what you do from day one, you will find a land, then you will start to the foundation, and after that foundation day by day it will start to construct. So that is progressive elaboration. So with time, from starting time to end time when your house will be ready, so it will have a progressive elaboration. It will, by day to day, it will going to be add something from last day to the next day, something will be added. So that make project different from. For the project, one of the key things or key principle which work for a project is iron triangle has three things. One is scope, time, and cost. So let's take the same example which we have now discussed. Plan to all you want 3 BHK house or 2 floor, 1 floor, all those scope will go already capacity of refining. So already a scope, a definite scope. Then for that scope, what we are going to do, we need a to freeze. So project, one of the important parameter is that you have to set the in starting of the time and ending of the time. When you are going to start to build your house, when your house will be finished. So that let's take you have so first 1000. So same way in any process plant, all these things are been fixed. And third important parameter is cost. When I'll go take example, take constructing in the have sets of budget defined I have to complete. So these three parameters, these are the key parameters which we have to take care in a project. And the main responsibility is to manage all these three parameters is a project manager, or project engineer, or project engineering manager. So tomorrow, if you are going to be in the role of project, so you have to make, cannot spend a huge cost because you have a limited cost, limited budget. Build a refinery in 3 years, and you have taken 5 years, or construction of a road or any project. Go you're nearby if and in that so these things we have to set up in the earlier part. So I believe you are a bit of familiar about projects, and now you can also differentiate with the operation. In the next slide, we will also and I will try to clarify this Being as a petroleum engineer, I have taken an example of industry, petroleum industry. So this is the example of one of the Saudi Arabia project. Saudi Aramco company has decided to plan as a program. So they want a complete well from production to pipeline to gas processing to distribution to if storage. So that type of activity is that if you can imagine that that is a complete value chain they have planned. So what they have done, they have just divided all those things to different packages, because a single person or single company, single group cannot do all those things in a same time. So some activity should be done parallelly. So that's why what they have done, they have just distributed. This is a typical example so that you get familiar that how things move in the industry. So what they have done for upstream side of pipeline and well tie-ins, all those well pair development, all those activities, for gas compression related things, they make other project, and gas processing where gas is being processed, either they have to convert to LNG or whatever the activities that they have make in other project. So that way what they have done, all the complete set of activity they have just distributed. It is 7 cases they have given a name. So they have make us 17 different projects. This way the projects generally evolves based on the scope. So after that, let's take this gas processing, which is P2 P0. This is that a name is given to this project, that facility. It's a place in Saudi Arabia. This is Jafurah. Okay. The owner of this project is Saudi Arabian Oil Company. So anyway, first all those things, key parameters, you can easily identify in a. So third thing is the location where this project is being. So when you see all those key parameters, you have to see. I have taken a typical example from oil and an example of project of construction of a road or construction of a house or of anything, any government building or any like refinery, anything in a project. The project name, owner, location, so capacity. So this parameter can move, will be how many meters road they want to construct, or it's a NH or MMSCFD sales gas generation plant. Okay. So when you are going to do, because every company cannot do everything. So like if sales gas generation plant is there, so some kind of patented work will be there, because if someone has made that some scheme that this is the scheme for use for gas processing, so that thing comes under a licensor. So a unique license, if you this like sweet gas, so then there is a licensor scheme. You just we have this much of inlet facility, inlet we are getting this quality. So just we approach to a licensor. So for specific work of job, there are the licensors are there, those who have the technology of that. So that's a licensor. So in unique job, you will see this licensor word when you just see over through any project. Another important parameter is feed. It's not the feed word which we usually use, that input or inlet of anything. This feed is the. So this we can understand by this, like just I will go through. I will go into the basic example which I have given for the construction of house. So, like if you want to construct a house, so what you do? First, you just make a rough sketch plan. You think with your family or with expert that I want this type of house. So you do some kind of advanced kind of job, that here I want a room, here I want a kitchen, here I want a drawing room, this way. So that is not as per all the parameters, but you do a front end of the starting a startup kind of job or work, where you just define and make a sketch or outline. So for this, because if you are doing multi, you spatial. So what they do in feed, just they will give you the outline of the plant, how much cost of that plant if you want to prepare, how much time it will take, and although you will go for tendering process, so you would have an idea. Because if a client is there, like in India, suppose government of Rajasthan or HPCL, they have decided to build a refinery, but they don't have the idea. Of course, HPCL have some idea, but they don't have the idea, that because they don't know the how that area is in Badmer, where they are going to construct all those things. So for that, they will approach to a special engineering firm, like they have approached to the EIL, Engineers India Limited. So they will do all kind of research, initial tasks, and all those things in the feed. So here this feed is Wood Group. Okay, so now what work we are giving? So what we are giving, we are asking for a contractor to do engineering. They have to procurement, like procure the things, whatever the required to build that processing plant. Fabricate, yes, if in site or in a factory they want to fabricate something. Installation of those equipment, inspection of those equipment, pre-commissioning and commissioning. So this is that cycle. Because if you want to build anything, anyhow, any process plant, this cycle you have to complete. So here schedule, I will just also, after some of the slide, I will also show you how a schedule looks like. So here the time is given is 36 months. So whenever this firm has done the feed, they have given the time, they have set the time, and now they are asking to complete this processing plant in 3 years. So here two works are there, so they have given different work. So I believe whenever you see any project, you definitely find most of the things in any project. So just to give you the brief of any project or anything, just I've listed down all those things. So let's go a step ahead. So what task I have given, that you have to make this gas processing plant. So these are the different project. So what initially done? So there is a plot plan is prepared, a sketch of that land, and how all those things will be set up. Like what you do in your construction of a house case, you have made your handmade sketch of house, and then you went to an architecture. Then you ask to architecture, just give me the engineered design of this house. What would be the wall size? What would be the room size? How you make the space arrangement? Because I have this much of land and I want 3 room and this much of 2 floor. So he will give you all those 3 engineering. So he will make that thing in engineer's level. So that type of drawing comes under the activity of engineering. So this is an example perspective. Okay. So next thing, when we see any project is that equipment, because most of the cost of project is from the equipment. Like if you are building your house, I'll take this example because it would be easy for you all guys to connect. Like if you want to build your house, so most of the cost is belong to your bricks, your cement, And apart from that, like if you your manpower cost will be there, and just after the finishing job you want to do. So in a process plant, similarly, if equipment is there, what is the size of that equipment? So there should be some cost. Like a refinery is there. If refinery, if ADU, atmospheric distillation unit is there, so in atmospheric some pumps will be there, the big vessel should be there, and all those things. So this is the cost. So what we have to do initial of the stage, we have to identify those costly items. The reason is why, because if initially of the stage we will identify, so that we can give a order for the fabrication work or for buying purpose. So all those things, because you have limited time, so you have to start, you have to float your requisition in market. Same because if like if a big vessel is there, so it will take suppose 20 months for construction, for fabrication, and you have a 30 months of project. So you have to start all those things in the initial of stage. So what you do, you just identify your all critical items. Like in this project, some vessels are there, columns are there, pumps. So you have taken the quantity 102 pumps are there. Columns is 10 columns are there, vessels 84, heat exchanger is 48, compressor 26 in that plant, this way. So what you have done, you have just identified that these are my long lead items. Long lead means it will take a longer time from fabrication to like suppose if anything is there that will be fabricated in like Italy. So we have to we will give order to Italy, then it will be fabricated in Italy, then it will be inspected in Italy, and after that it will come to India if work is going on in India. So that all those time we have to see for, because these all are not small equipment, these are very big equipment. So it will be fabricated in different companies and different units in different location. So these all those things, as a project manager or project engineer, you have to visualize and you have to plan accordingly in the initial phase of project. So that's why just I want to give a brief that by this typical example, like how a project looks like. So let's now go to some depth of project work. So there is a term generally used in project is EPC. So if you see nearby your L&T is there, L&T is a EPC company. So what this EPC is, a company who do engineering work, procurement work, and construction work. EPC, E for stand for engineering, P stand for procurement. Procurement is nothing but a normal purchasing, and C is stand for construction. So which company does all those things? That is a EPC company. So let's see the phases and stages of a project. So project phase, as I said, that first you think and you outline what idea you want to make in want to do. So you have visualized that, you do so all those things, or you ask to an expert, all those things we do first. We do a feasibility study where we see that what idea we are going to do, whether it is feasible or not feasible. In the first step we check, because if you want water well, if any other water well is already being there, so that idea is not feasible. Or if water supply is there and you want to go for water well, so that is not a feasible idea. So all those things, this is if you are doing like if you are if a company thought that I want to make a refinery in the very internal very difficult to approach. So it is because for a refinery, main thing is that crude, because the purpose of refinery is for the refining of the crude. So from where we can get the crude, how that crude will be come to the refinery, whether in that location, how we can get the manpowers, we can see all those things. So these all the things comes under initial phase of feasibility studies. In the after that, you just conceptual design, pre-feed and feed, which I have already been discussed. That these are the initial stage. We just start to work whatever the ideas we have generated. Generally, feed in the feed stage, that is the more mature kind of engineering work. These all initial things is done only on engineering. So this is the more mature, where we just give work to specialized engineers. They do on behalf of us. uh, just I have given that example. So that here that wood group, so what wood group will do, he will do some engineering. He will see, that company will see that how that idea can be make real on paper. They also calculate cost for you, they will calculate schedule for you, they will also prepare the tendering, because you have to go for in market for tendering purpose. All those things is done by help by that feed. After that, word a very common is detail engineering. So this thing you just have to see this word, because whenever tomorrow or whenever you, in future you will go, or either you will go in your master in management. So then these are the basic things which you are going to learn. So detail engineering is that now after tendering you have allotted a job to a company. So now they have to do like L&T. So what you have given a work to L&T, like you have to build this refinery for me. So in that, what L&T will do, L&T in detail engineering first do the complete engineering. This is the plant, this much of equipment is required. Some of for that they will build some deliverables. We just in the next slide we will also learn that what deliverable is, what are the activities, how those activities are linked, all those things. In the coming slide we will link. So in overview, just I'm saying that like you have the company has given work to the L&T. So now L&T in the first stage will do their engineering part, and after doing that complete engineering, and that engineering is verified or approved by who is the what you call, suppose if that work is given by HPCL, so HPCL will verify to client. So that will be verified and approved by a client. And when client said it is okay, you can proceed. So now in the second step, they will proceed for the procurement of that all those equipments, and then they will construct first all the foundation, all the equipment they will bring to the sites, all those activity they will start to do. After that, as I said, detail engineering part, company done, then procurement then done, then off-site, on-site fabrication. Because some of is you have fabricated in factory, and you fabricated in factory, you have inspected and tested, and then a company bring to the site. But some things are there which usually being fabricated on site. So all those things identified in the engineering phase, and same way procurement and construction team do the work. Next phase is that when you have all the material, man and everything, then you start the construction. So construction, the starting from excavation, then foundation and installation, all those things. So after that, in construction, if you have done the civil construction, then next step is erection and installation. Like you have bring one big vessel, so that you have to install in the site. You brought pump, you have to install all those pumps, compressor, heat exchanger, all those things on the site. So that activity we have to see. And we have to also do all the work in a particular sequence, because suppose you have installed the last thing first and first thing last, then it will not work, it will take more time. So if we have to do in the schedule part, which I will show later on, so we have to just sequence all the activity. Like if you are constructing your house, you cannot brought your like finishing material or for suppose furniture and all those things in the initial stage. In the initial stage, you will bring bricks, cement, and whatever is machinery required for excavation and if foundation and all those things. You will not bring your furniture and your other things which is required in the later stage, like your POP is doing or any other things. So there is a sequence. So similarly, like in projects, there is a sequence. Some activity we have to do in the initial start of the phase, some in middle of the phase, late middle, and end of the phase. So this way, same thing is just written here. Initially, a tendering work. So you have floated the tender for certain kind of job. In execution, that is engineering, procurement, and construction, you did. After that, the quality and schedule control, just quality schedule control, either the per schedule or it can be completed in a certain time of certain time frame of time where we have initially decided. Commissioning and completion. So last step in this diagram also, pre-commissioning, we will check that all the things, all the setup is okay, pump is working and everything. Then we start the commissioning, a normal functioning of that plant, and then start up and we will hand over to operation teams, and then operation team start to do their routine things. And in project management, there are two words in EPC is very familiar, is greenfield or brownfield. So greenfield is that when you are constructing or you're making something in a new place, like as I given the example of refinery. So there is nothing is there, a barren land is there, and you have the company has thought some project and they are starting. So that is called a greenfield, new things, like your house. So you are building you have taken one land and you start to construct your house. So that is a greenfield kind of activity. Brownfield is like your maintenance or you adding something. Suppose you have a house, you have a 1-floor house. So now you thought that what I'll do, I will make one room at my first floor at my roof. So what you do, so that is because existing your house is there and you thought that I want one in first floor, one more room. So that is brownfield because existing setup is there, and in that existing setup, you are just adding few things or you are making something. So that is brownfield. Like in process plant, a refinery is there. So that refinery is normally now used for like fuel, gas, like gasoline or diesel and all the fuel. Now you think that now I need petrochemical, and just you install some of the unit for getting all the petrochemical plant, polyethylene or any other thing is there. So that is a brownfield. Existing refinery is there. So you have upgraded that refinery or upgraded that whatever that project is. So that is greenfield and brownfield. It is usually used in EPC. If you just get an opportunity to work in EPC, so these are the common words. So now we have just see that phases of a project and how the project looks like, what are the key things in projects. So now let's go in the next phase is the process groups or project management. So how a project management come and what is the role of that project management? Because somehow you understand that the managing the things, because if our work is going for 3 years and thousands of activities are going parallel, so you have to manage some person is there who has to manage that, who has to sequence the activity so that after completion of one activity, second activity is started. Because after the excavation work, then only you do the foundation. You cannot do the foundation before the excavation. Or after the foundation, then you can start to install your equipment. So there is always a sequence of activities. So generally, that project management, any activities or what we call that a process group is divided into five parts. First is that initiating. Initiating is that in the initial phase of things, whether any approval is required, documentation, or how we are going to do all those things we do in the initiating phase. After completing all this initiating, all the approvals, we go to the planning phase, where what we do on paper, what we will just plan the things, how we are going to execute, what are the parameters we require, where we have to go for subcontracting or support, or how many equipments, all those there. So all this activity we do in the planning phase, and after that planning phase, then we come to the executing. So we have now we have plan on paper, now we are going to execute that project. So after that, okay, the project is going on, suppose it is going for 3 years, then we have to monitor and control. We have to see that if that activity was about to complete on this date, whether that activity is completed on that date, or it is not completed to that date. So all those things we have to look. So there is a specific person, a planner or scheduler or a project control engineer is there who look all those activities. Or if anything is delayed, so what are the reasons? So we have to tell the reason. Like now happened, COVID came. So when any project which were started before the COVID, so all those COVID and delay due to COVID was not planned. So all those things which happen, because that is not in your hand. Sometimes it is hand, like you have given one vessel for the fabrication to one company, but that company is closed, or anything happened to that company, and they have to delay on 30th day, and they have delayed on the 40th day after 10 days. So all those things you have to take care, because if one thing is delayed, one thing will be delayed by 10 days, then anyhow that 10-day impact will be on the complete project for next 3 years. So maybe that 3 years work can be extended to 4 years, because you have planned certain activity that in winter I will do this thing, and in rainy season will be there, so I will not do this type of activity. Like I will not do the excavation kind of job, because rain will be there, then it will be rainwater will be poured into all the excavated land, then I have to do the dewatering. So all those things of activity you have to plan, considering the season, considering the resources you have, and all those things. So that is required for monitoring and controlling. And then at last, in closing stage, yes, everything is ready for handover. What are the drawings, manual, operation manual, and all those things you have to do, that comes under closing. So these are the key phases or a process of work in a project. And a project management, a project manager have to look all those things, and he has to guide his team based on this plan. So same thing I tell now we can understand by this diagram. Like this is the definite starting of the project and ending of the project, and time frame is given. And now what we have done, this is defined in level of efforts. So first, initiating phase, you have just initiating what are the approval you have started, and initiating phase you have completed at suppose it's a 10-month project and you have completed in 1 or 2 months. Then you start your planning, all those things. So planning is just as and when you start to plan the things, parallelly you start to execute also. Like you have planned for the excavation and foundation, so you just tell to your executing team that we have planned these things, this much of thing is required, you start to do. So these are the parallel activity you plan, and after the plan, if you see that gap, because this execution is after planning, so you are planning parallelly, other team is executing that thing. Fourth thing which I said, monitoring and control, it will work in planning, in executing, all those phase. So some people are there who is watching your work. So whether you are working as per the standard, whether you are working as per the time, or as per the cost, all those things, something is watching, and in last there is closing phases there. So these are the key phases of a project. So next is knowledge area. So before moving to this, I will show you how any schedule looks like. I believe everyone is connected. Yes, Dushan, my voice is audible.
Yeah,
Any problem?
audible.
Everything? Yeah. Because so just I was only confirming. So what I'll show you how a schedule looks like. Like this is the schedule which prepared for this is for new cooling water, because company want to replace some existing cooling water pump to the new cooling water pump. So all those type of activities and all related pipings and everything they want to change. So for that, this is a schedule generally prepared in a software named Primavera, where what we do first, we define the activity with time. Like we have defined, as I said, project is start date we have set up in 25th of August 2019, and finish date is set up in 28th of June 2020. So based on that, then we have analyzed the activity, like starting date, kickoff meeting when we will first discuss with the client. After that, the purchase order or a PO of key activities, topography, geo. So these I will not go more details, because whenever you work, then you will be familiar with all those terms. You have to do some site survey. So you have set up the date in the initial phase also. So now all the work should be according to these dates. If anything is delayed, then it would have an impact to other things, because one activity is linked to other activities. So these are the activities. So it's a 34 page. So see that only replacing a pump in a plant, it is a big job. It's almost a year job. So all those things is been started. So typically what I'll do, so this is the activity which we are showing that at what time of the project. So if you see that this all activities are coming in initial phase of period, if I'll go in 23rd of page, then you see that these activities are completed in the later phase. So that way that activity is closed. The last activity will be your process dossier. So what work you have done to just give to the client. So that is the last activity. So this is the schedule. Generally, a qualified planner prepare this schedule in a software named Primavera. So just to tell you that how we identify. So being as a project people, what we have to identify all those activities, because what work is going to happen. And then so we will set the software all the dates, and we will do this planning activity. So let's move to the next slide. So this slide is for knowledge area. From the project management perspective, if we will see that what is the actual work they are going to do. So generally they are going to do this 10 key works as a project manager or a project engineer. First is that their duty is project integration management. They have to integrate all those elements which are required in the initial phase. Like you need a specialized person, you need a specialized equipment, specialized software, all those things. So you have to see that all those things is required, because let's you all are petroleum engineer. So if I'll take this as an example, if your drilling class is there, so you need a specialized drilling professor. You cannot start a class without a specialized drilling professor. A production professor or other professor cannot take the class. So same way, a project manager at the initial phase, just all the elements which are required in your project, he just think and he just start to that, how they can be available, how they can be made available at what time that is required. Second thing is that project scope management. because there is a certain scope of certain activities. For refinery you are building, so there is a scope is there, you have to build that refinery. So you have to first, as a project engineer, project manager, you have to know the scope. Because if you don't know that, if you are building a house, if you don't know that how a house is built, what are the thing is required, when plumbing work is required, when electric work is required, when other work is required. So if you don't know, then you cannot better way just as manage that project. So you don't know all the technicality party, how to install a wire or how to install a plumbing pipe, but you should know that when this activity is required. Because when you have construct a wall and you have, after that you can tell to the plumbing people that you can start your work, because wall is wall is ready, you can groove and you can install your piping. When your roof is ready, then you can tell to electrical people, now you can start your wiring job. So those scope, so all those scope, management of that scope and what exactly is scope, as a project engineer or project manager you should know. Third thing, as we discussed, project schedule management. Yes, the schedule, all those activities, linking of all those activities. After this activity will be start. Sometimes some activity can be work together parallelly. So all those things comes under project schedule management. Cost management, yes, definitely, because you have a certain budget, you have to complete that project in that budget is, and also get your profit also. Like suppose you are, as you have for an house construction project, you have taken the budget of 20 lakhs, and someone has given you contract that you have to build my house at 20 lakhs, and at last you have seen that you have spent 25 lakhs in that building that house. So who is going to pay that 5 lakhs? So all those things you have to see. After that, project quality management, right? Because certain quality you have to make. For reducing the cost, you cannot do like that, you have compromised with the quality. So quality persons are there, they to and fro check all the qualities of work. So process, project resource management. Resource is nothing but manpower. So same like for your house building, you require 10 people. So if only 3 people are coming in spite of 10 people, then your work will be slow. So these things you have to take care. That resources like you are there, like L&T is there. So L&T require the engineers. So if they have requirement of 200 engineers and only 100 engineers is there, then their work will be slow. So at what time they have to manage their resource? Communication management, yes, because sometimes work is like just like L&T is in Baroda, they are doing the project of Saudi Arabia, here Qatar, or anywhere in the world. So or like also me also, I am here in Qatar and I am just discussing with you guys in Baroda. So all these communication parameters, and how to set document from one place to other place, how to check that whether the work which is happening in the other location, what is up to the mark, and all those things. So with that communication setup, because multiple parties are there, like one vendor is there, from lots of vendors are there, subcontractors are there, civil people are there, electrical people are there, instrumentation people are there, so lots of people are there. So the set of interface and communication is required. So all those things is learned under project communication management. Risk management, yes, definitely risk is there. Like your project or your work is there, suppose you thought that it should be completed in June, so that before the rainy season, and unfortunately rain has started earlier. So that risk you have to take care, that if anything has happened, like you thought that I need manpower and some manpower strike happen, or like in during the project work also something has happened. So all those things, all those risks we have to see. Like COVID is a big risk to all the project. Nobody has identified, and so for that risk, and how we can take care that risk during the project, and what thing we have to do. Like in if this COVID risk came, so what you people also what they have done, you have to start work, or we have to start work remotely, so that okay, productivity will not be at 100%, but at least we can do 70% of the things or 60% of the things, so that things will keep on moving. So that risk procurement management, because as I said that in a project lots of equipment are coming, and that is coming from different part of world. So we have to see, like if an equipment is coming through sea, that how, what is the sea route and all those things. So we have to contact to the special parties which will really take care of all those things, or special companies, mediator companies. So all those things, that procurement related activities. And stakeholders management, so stakeholder is directly or indirectly which part all the parties are involved. Like one of the project is, they are, you are laying a pipeline, but that pipeline is crossing a national highway. So you have to take care approval from that national highway. You have to take care that I want to trench just below this national highway, this pipeline and this pipeline of this ministry. And you must have seen in the news that one ministry is not giving permission to other ministry. Anyone want this railway route, and railway route is going to the forest and all those things. So all the stakeholders which has impact on project, and you just discuss and just close out all those issues. So that this comes under stakeholders management. So I'll go a bit fast because almost 1 hour is going to complete. Without delay, so other thing is that the person, the resources, as I said, project resource management. So in engineering, what kind of resources are there? So there are different specialized persons are there. So that is a process engineer, who's a chemical engineer or petroleum engineer, who do the schematic, like if the pipeline, pump, compressor, all those schemes are interconnected. So how that thing is going to work. So inlet parameters, outlet, because inlet parameters you have set, and outlet parameters for a refinery you said that crude oil will come in this quantity, this metric million ton, and this much of gasoline, diesel, and all those things is required. So all those things, all those that engineering related to that will be done by the process engineer. Civil and structure, very clear from the name, or everything related to civil, the foundation design, structure design, and all those design. Mechanical static, who will take care all the static part, like any vessel is there, column is there, tank is there. So there is a specialized person how a tank will be designed, because you have seen that. And even though in your coming semester you will also learn about all those things, tanks, and what are the tanks used in our oil and gas industry. So all those designing is by a specialized static person. A rotary engineer, who do with the rotary part, like pump, compressor, heat exchanger, all those things is done by a rotary part. Metallurgy, like different materials are there, so they have to see that this material would have a corrosion or not corrosion. This material will be used in under the water, so we have to change the material. Although this schematic is taken care by a metallurgy person. Piping, so because on a process plant, a key thing is the piping. So what size of piping, what will be the material of piping, how the piping will be layout, all those things will be taken care by piping. So next is electrical, very clear with the name, all the electrical related job. HVAC is you see in a ventilation. So how those ventilation and all those things will be designed and take care. So this HVAC is the different that generally comes under mechanical package item. Instrumentation and control, yes, like you have set up a pump, but you want to see that what RPM that pump is work, and you want to start and close that pump remotely. So all those things is done through instrumentation. So all those designing will be done a specialized instrument engineer. Telecom, very clear with the name, related to all the telecommunication. Like now I am presenting this presentation from here, and you all people are listening in India. So all those things, so different all those things usually done by telecom people, IT people. Loss prevention, so what are the safety precautions we have to do. Certain studies are there. so that if you are making that plant, that this plant would not have impact to other nearby things, or in the plant, like you put the one material which have a hazard to near other material, and man is coming to that location, all those things, that safety during the operation, what are the hazard possible because of that. So that are the all those things are under loss prevention. So these are the key engineering people work in a project. So like just I'll show you through just one example, because now I believe you would be somehow familiar. So I'll show you live thing. So let's I'll so we will go to Doha, and like so like this is one process plant is there. Yes. So how it actually look? These are the tanks, big tanks for finished product like petrol, diesel, and all those things. This part is jetty. So now the task is given you, like you have to replace these pumps here in jetty. So how that engineering will be done? So Dushyant, we have time. How it is just?
No, we have limited time. We have only 5 minutes. Okay. And I want to ask some questions so that you have
Okay.
finished in 5 minutes.
So okay, I'll 5 minutes. What
Okay.
I'll do, we will do all those things. So just we see that what are the main EPC companies. So one company is near to you. You have seen the L&T. Punch Lloyd is there. There is SR project, Tata project, who do special project management kind of job. EIL is there, Engineers India Limited. If you see overseas companies like Welspun, Aker Solutions, Bechtel, Linde. So you have seen Linde, one of the offices in Baroda, Bechtel offices and also in Baroda. Aker is, I think, also working from Baroda or Mumbai. Samsung Engineering, that is in Delhi. So they are the international firms, but still they are also well established in India also. So is any certification is also for that project? That project management course is, yes, there is a certification that is not for the fresher, but after when you start and you learn all those things. So after 3 years of completion of your experience, and if you have a 4-year BTech degree, so there is the institute named Project Management Institute, which give a 1-year certification in PMP. So anywhere, if you have that certification, you will go for a project manager job. So you can easily get, because that certification is one of the toughest exam. But yes, for that, you from initial phase to 5 to 6 years, you have to learn all those things, and then you can go for this certification. So that's it from my side. If you
Okay.
have any-
Thank you, Mr. Ankit, for sharing your huge experience and knowledge among us. So
Thank you
I want
so
I
much.
want to ask some questions. First
Yes,
question
yes,
is
please.
how the petroleum engineering holder can work as project engineer.
Right. Very good question, because being as I am the example, I'm a petroleum engineer by my education, and currently I'm working as a project engineer. As I said that when you are working in any oil and gas, like in my initial of the slides, when I have shown like you want to build a refinery project, you are working, or you are working any upstream project like well pad or any rig. So you are familiar with all those terms. So if in drilling you have already read about that, what are the drilling, what are the parts of a rig, and all those things, what are the calculations are there, if you have to drill for 100 meters, so if how many pipes are required, what will be the impact on your mast, what will be impact on your prime mover, drawworks, and all those things. Shale Shaker, and what are the companies. So you are familiar with all those things. So if project is came for this design of a rig, so you know the component engineering, you know that where this rig is going to work. So if that is a refinery, so in your course you are familiar with all the refinery equipment, refinery, how the refinery process works. So being as a petroleum engineer, if a project is related to oil and gas, then you have edge compared to others, because you can easily outline. So that is the benefit if you have a petroleum engineer and you are going to work in a project engineer.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ankit. And so next question is, what are the differences in the working environment of Doha and India as a project manager, like project engineer?
Like if someone is working as a project engineer in India and Doha, yes, different country and different working environment. There is different thing is there, different standard are followed. Like if you're working for any Indian project, so the standards are different. Their working is they're totally different. Like here we are working here, everything is different than India from the project perspective. So you have to deal with, you have to deal that you must have seen like normally in English there is American English or it's a UK English. So same thing is like standards are there. So different standards, different company and different standards are there. So wherever you are working, you have to opt all those standards you have to see. So yes, difference are there, but core skills are similar. As a project engineer or project manager, core skills are similar.
Okay. And last question is, what is the scope of petroleum engineering degree holder in company like L&T?
Yes, this question I think will benefit to all the students who are listening to us. So rightly said, as I said that one of the branch which is process engineering. So if anyone is a petroleum engineering degree holder, he can directly be a process engineer, and he can learn the process engineer work in a few initial of the years, and he can work at discipline engineer. Apart from that, if anyone want to work as a project engineer, so like specifically for oil and gas, so as I said in the reply of my first question, that petroleum engineer have a added advantage, and after that if he will do that PMI course and he will take that all those certifications, so then it would be very easy to make and to pursue his or her career in a project management. And this is the quality of one of this course is that somewhere I heard that in petroleum engineering girls have very limited scope, but in project management there is no anything gender specific, so both have equal opportunity and equal approach. So that is the other beauty of project management.
Okay, Mr. Ankit, it was a great session for us, and your knowledge and experiences will be beneficial for us literally.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Ankit. Okay,
thank you everyone. It's nice to have a session, but
literally it was very nice.
With the limitation I cannot interact and I cannot take your question, all the students who are there, but in future if you will get the opportunity, definitely we will try to meet one-to-one also. So thank you so much.
We will meet again.
For giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Ankit.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you, Parallel University. Thank you.
Hello, Chetan sir. Shall we left? Hello, am I audible?